Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Jamuna Tira Banachari. Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Radhika Raman Giriju Ki Jai Ho. Om Agyana Timarandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Namo Maha Vandanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gora Tavashe Namaha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'd like to offer my heartfelt Puspanjali to the Lotus Feet and my Harinam Diksha Guru, my Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, my life and soul, who saved me from hell. I owe everything to him. And to my Bhajan Shiksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, to Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj, who sent all the help so that this can be possible, and to our entire Guru Parampara. And today is a very special day. Today is the appearance day of one very exalted Vaishnava, Sri Locan Das Thakur. So I thought first we'd speak a little bit about Locan Das Thakur, but there's not so much known about him. But he was born near Katwa, around the time of, just after Mahaprabhu, and I forget exactly what the date was. And and I can't quite remember what his mother and father's name was. Indira, there's some books right there. Could you hand those to me? Thank you. Here we go. Wasn't there? Yeah. This is what I need. A little bit of help. A little bit of help from Bhakti Ballabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj and his wonderful book, Sri Chaitanya, His Life and Associates. Wonderful. So he was born in 1523 in Kogram, which is near Katwa. It's in the Burdwan district. They're in Bengal. And his village is about, here we go, this is like Prabhupada, 10 miles north of the Kushkara train station. So you can know exactly where to go. And it's near the Ajay River. I haven't heard of that one. So he was born in a physician caste. He's a Vaidya. And his father's name was Kamalakar Das, and his mother Sadanandi. And he studied, his early studies was at his maternal grandfather's house. And that's his mother's grandfather's house. He studied, and he was very, very much attached to Mahaprabhu from the very beginning. Very, very spiritual, small young child. And what's really interesting is that he was married at a very, very early age. In those days, they were married early. Sometimes even 5 or 6 years old. They were actually married. But the wife would stay at her parents' house for a long time. And then finally, she would come to live at her in-laws' house. So this is really the only story from his actual personal life. A few little things. And so he was very detached, and his parents were getting very worried because he was not much interested in Grihastha life. And so they went to his guru, which is the famous Narahari Sakar. He had, Narahari Sakar lived close by in Srikhanda, and he'd also studied in Srikhanda. And Narahari Sakar had become very affectionate to Locan Das Thakur, and he had given him initiation even. And as we know, Narahari Sakar is a very intimate associate of Mahaprabhu. In fact, he say his name in the evening Artik song, Narahari Sakar. He's waving the chamara, and he was with Mahaprabhu in Puri. So, and they're all physicians. We have Srikhanda, and then we have this, what's the name of it? Kogram. These are all places of physicians. But these physicians not only cured your material ailments, but also your spiritual ailments, isn't it? So his parents, Locan Das Thakur's parents, they went to Narahari Sakar, and they said, we're very worried. Our son is not interested in material life. He's just not interested. Could you please encourage him, to live a Grihastha life? And so Narahari Sakar, he encouraged Locan. He said, it will not be a hindrance for you. You please take up this Grihastha ashram. He was already married, but bring the wife to your house and live with her as a Grihastha. And so... but the thing is, Locan Das Thakur, when he had gotten married, he must have gone to his wife's village. But he hadn't been there in many, many years, and so he had forgotten exactly where the house was. When he got to the village, he just couldn't remember where the house was. So he saw one young girl walking, and he asked her, "Oh, Mataji," even though she's quite young, he said, "Oh, Mataji, where's the house?" So she told him where the house was. So he went there, and then he found out that this young girl that he addressed as Mataji was actually his wife. And so he brought her back to his house, to his parents' house, but he always called her Mataji, and always looked upon her as Mataji. And he lived a very renounced life, worshipping Nitai Gaur, with his wife, who he called Mataji. Very extraordinary. This was the amount of determination and renunciation and dedication he had. He was not interested at all in sense gratification. So his guru, Narahari Sakar, had asked him to learn kirtan. Actually, Narahari Sakar had taught him kirtan himself. And he had also asked him to write the history of Mahaprabhu, which he did in his famous Chaitanya Mangala, which is one of the 3 biographies of Mahaprabhu. And his Chaitanya Mangala actually comes from Murari Gupta's, what do you call it, Chaitanya Charita. That's what it's based on. Whereas Vrindavana-vilasini Thakur's Chaitanya Bhagavat, I'm not quite sure what that's based on. But I know Chaitanya Charitamrita is based on the notes of Swarab Damodar and Raghunath Das Goswami. So we have these 3 amazing biographies. And at first, Vrindavana Thakur's book was also called Chaitanya Mangala. But at that time, the community of Vaishnavas, they made the change, because 2 books, Chaitanya Mangala, this wouldn't be so appropriate. So because Vrindavana Thakur's book was so voluminous, it was so big, they named it Chaitanya Bhagavat, like this. But there was no envy between the authors, nothing. They both praise each other in their books. Like in Locan Das Thakur's Chaitanya Mangala, he says, I attentively pay my obeisances to Vrindavan Das Thakur. His Bhagavad songs have enchanted the entire universe. That's how he glorifies Vrindavan Das Thakur himself. So we don't see envy between these kind of Vaishnavas. No envy at all. Like that. In fact, they glorify each other. Now, in the Chaitanya Mangala, Locan Das Thakur, he was mainly glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is his Vishaya Vigraha. And he felt like himself, after it was written, that he had neglected his Vishaya Vigraha, which is Nityananda. So, and he felt like he had actually been offensive, because he could see in the other 2 books, in Chaitanya Bhagavat of Vrindavan Das Thakur and Chaitanya Charitamrita of Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, they extensively had also glorified Nityananda Prabhu. So what did he do? He wrote many songs in glorification of Nityananda Prabhu that are very famous. We have them in our songbook. So many here. Let's see, what do we have? We have, what is it? We have this one here. Nitai Gunamani, Akrota Paramananda. We have, what's this, a Parma Karun? But there's many more. I actually found so many. There's even 2 to Krishna. He has 2 to Krishna and some to Mahaprabhu, but mostly to Nityananda, or Gaur Nitai together. And he is so strong in his nishta to Nitai and Gaur that he makes some very, very harsh statements. Usually Vaishnavas are very kind, compassionate like this. But in that kindness, also sometimes to show their nishta, they say some things that are pretty intense. He says in this one, he says, where is it? Anyhow, I don't think it's there. He says that actually he will, how is it said? He put lime on the face of someone who has no faith. How does it go?
It's like more than one. Is it like this ending?
Yes. Locan Das Thakur in his Akrota Paramananda says, that sinful person who has not experienced the awakening of attachment for such an avatar, meaning Nitai, simply comes and goes in the endless cycle of birth and death. And he says, whoever has not worshipped my Nitai knowingly commits suicide. But there's some that are even more intense. Let's see, excuse me, I'm a little K57. Yes, this is the one. Nitai Mora Jivana Dan. He says, Locan Das declares, I shall scorch the face of one who has no regard for my Nitai. Now that's pretty intense. He's going to scorch their face. He's going to burn their face. But actually, this isn't, that's just his nishta in Nitai. It's not that he's going to go around burning everyone's face. That's not really what he's going to do. But that's how intense he feels to someone who is not properly regarding Nitai. But instead of burning their face, he'll try to cure their disease. He's a physician, raised in a physician family, so he will try to cure their disease and not scorch their face like this. You know? But he's very, very strong like this. Now, some persons say that in his book Chaitanya Mangala, there was some Gauranga Nagari Vad there, but actually Bhakti Bal Tirtha Maharaj says that this is completely false. This is not true. It's pure. It's not a problem like that. Because we're not supposed to put Gauranga Nagari in our writings, which is where we see Mahaprabhu Gaur as Krishna, as the enjoyer. We never see Krishna as the enjoyer, as Gaur. He is the Ashraya. He's coming as Ashraya, as devotee, like that. So in the Chaitanya Mangala, there is no deficiency like this. Now when Narhari Sakar, his guru, was leaving, when he actually disappeared, Locan Das Thakur was there. He came there and he was putting sandalwood pulp and flower garlands and all the devotees there at the disappearance festival, huge festival in Srikhanda for Narhari Sakar. Other than that, we don't really know so much about him. He did write some songs and some books, actually not writing them in one sense, but translating them into Bengali. He actually translated the whole 5 chapters of the Rasa Lila, Rasa Panchajaya, into Bengali. That's what he did. And many songs he wrote into Bengali. I think it was also the Jagannath Ballabha. He wrote into Bengali, because these are all Sanskrit, like that. So he left quite a heritage because, as you know, we're singing his songs practically every day, especially to Nitai. Parama Karuna, we're singing every day. So he's become his mercy, instead of scorching our faces, his songs have gone all over to everywhere, South America, Canada, America, Australia, all over the universe. His songs are like purifying our hearts. Because without the mercy of Nitai, we know there's no way our minds will become purified. There's no way our hearts will become purified. And without a purified heart and mind, we cannot come home to Vrindavan. Our home is Vrindavan, as we know. Gauranga Bolite Hobe. We can't, without the mercy of Nita, how will our heart and mind become purified? How will we be able to enter Vrindavan and get the mercy of Rupa and Raghunath? No way, not possible. So he's been very kind to us. Very kind, taking us closer and closer to Nitai. And as we know, Nitai has promised that if you just surrender to me, please surrender to me, and I will take full responsibility. If you just surrender to me, I will take full responsibility for you, for your spiritual life. Now, what does surrender to Nitai mean? Surrender means Akhanda Guru Tattva, right? He's Akhanda Guru Tattva. The Guru is coming from him. So it means surrender to Guru. For us, surrender in the line of Sri Rupa Goswami, we're in the Rupanuga Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So we surrender to our Sri Guru in the line of Rupa Goswami. This is surrender to Nitai, like this. We take this very seriously, making our Guru our life and soul, making his instructions our very life. There's nothing other than the words of our Guru. This is a song of Narottam Das Thakur. Make the words of the Guru one with your heart. And as Prabhupada actually said in a purport in the Bhagavatam, he said, we worship the words of our Guru. We meditate on them and we carry them out to the best of our ability. This is our only life. Now, at this point, we may not actually be capable of that, but we're praying for this. This is what we pray for, this full surrender, service to Sri Guru. This is what Nitai wants. He says, if you do that, I will take responsibility, full responsibility. There's a quote by Srila Prabhupada, my guru, that he says, I will personally guide you. I'm your personal guide, no matter whether I'm physically here or I'm not. I'm always your personal guide, like this. This is Nitai, Gaur. So we should have faith in this. We should believe this. The reason why we aren't attaining higher and higher levels of bhakti is our lack of faith. We hear these things, but we kind of think, we don't even think about it. It's just kind of a matter of fact. There's something in us that doesn't quite believe it. Either that, or we don't quite want it. We're still too attached to our sense gratification. We don't really want to quite give it up. I was just talking with a devotee yesterday about this point, and we were talking about how full surrender. And the devotee was going, not just a little bit? Can I just have a little bit? Just a tiny bit? Just one bit? No, not even a fraction of material attachment. Not even a fraction can we have. We have full, because even that fraction of an attachment will cause us total misery. Will cause us to have to stay here in the material world and go round and round and round. Just like Locan Das Thakura was saying. He says, where was that one? Anyhow, they have to go round and round and round in the cycle of birth and death. If we don't worship Nitai and we don't take him seriously, we go round and round and round in samsara, isn't it? So, Nityanandaram ki jai, Locan Das Thakura ki jai. On the appearance and disappearance of these exalted Vaishnavas, it's auspicious for us to remember them in whatever way we can, even just to pay our obeisances like that. And we miss the chance if we don't for auspiciousness in our life. So we beg that he'll shower his mercy upon us, and we'll also become attached to Sri Guru like this, and we'll make their words our life and soul. And we won't be foolish anymore. We're so foolish, giving up Vrindavan, Braja Vrindavan, Radha and Krishna, Nanda and Yasoda, Maharaj Rishabhanu, Kirtida Devi, Jamuna, Giriraj Govardhan, for what? For what? For this material body? For some pizza? With samosas or whatever, for my dog, for my cat. Wow, for some money? Or for name and fame? Oh, wait a minute. I probably won't be so famous up there. I think the gopis are probably a lot, I said I'm not going to be very number one gopi, that's for sure. Radharani's there. Oh dear, this is a problem. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And not only that, oh my God, you mean this lady over here who I can't stand is going to be up there too? No way do I want to be the same Kunj as her. Actually, there's a very famous story with Prabhupada like that. One of my godsisters actually went to this year, way in the beginning. We were such babies, and she asked Prabhupada if she had to be the same Kunj as this other gods. Prabhupada said, no, you want. But we probably will. Because we'll be in the Kunj with our Sri Guru Saki. And we'll be happy to be with each other at that point. Because all these material inebrities will be gone. We're not these bodies. We're not these conditionings that we had, who we think we are. We're a spirit soul. Our spirit soul is pure, beautiful, lovely, very attractive, every part of it. So anyhow, we're going on with Sri Siksastaka, and we're still in verse 2. Nam akari bauda nija sarva shaktis tatarpita niyamita smarane nakalaha etadasi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi Durdaiva midrisami ha janinana ragaha. Now this second verse, it corresponds to the second time of the day in Astakaliya Lila. So we'll say just a little bit about this, and then we'll go into the more of the tattva. So we've already heard about how in the second part of the day, after Radha and Krishna have returned to their respective homes, Nandagram and Javad or Barshana, we heard about how Mukura comes and how this little manjaris, they cleanse themselves and dress. And so after that, when Radharani has awoken. I like awoken, but I think it's awakened. I'm losing my English. And Mukura has come. And she's gone. And they've had their little, and Jatila's come and gone, like this. So who comes next sometimes? Two of the daughters of Radharani's nursemaid from Barshana. They come. They're sent by Kirtida and Vrishabhanu Maharaj because they want some news about their daughter. So these two daughters of the nursemaid, they come and they inquire, oh, how are things like this? So that's really nice. I think they only usually tell them good news. They don't tell them any bad news. So, and then who comes after this to see Srimati Radhika is Shamalasaki. Shamalasaki is a friend of Srimati Radhika. As you know, there's the Swapaksha, her own group. There's the Sarit Paksha, which are the friends of Radharani and very neutral to her rival Chandravali. And then there's the Tatasta, which is the neutral to Radharani and the friends of Chandravali. That's Bhadra. And then you have, of course, her number one rival, Chandravali. Huh?
Vipaksha.
Yeah, Vipaksha. So, Shamalasaki is very friendly, very close in mood, but not quite the same. Very close. And she comes to take bath. This is what it said in our Vaishnava literature. She comes to take bath, because in the morning everyone takes bath, right? But what is a real bath? The real bath is to take bath in the moods coming out from Srimati Radharani's heart. Her heart is Sham Rasa Sindhu, right? And so what's coming out through her Prem Katha, these are all of her moods. They're sarovaras. This is how Srila Narayana Maharaj would describe them. It's an ocean. And it's just, it's a Prem Vristi. It's a shower of Prem. So Shamalasaki comes to take bath in this shower of Prem. Not water bath. This is the first bath that's taken, I can never say it right, Karunamrita, the bath of mercy, like this. Raghunath Das Goswami has always spoken about 3 baths. So the first bath is Karunamrita. And this is at this time when Srimati Radhika and Shamalasaki are speaking about what happened last night. What are the happenings of last night? All the Raskata about what happened. This is called Prem Bhav Lila Katha. And there's a verse by Narottam Das Thakura that says, if we don't immerse ourselves in Prem Bhav Lila Katha and go deeply into this, at whatever level we're at, and however we can go, what are we doing? He says we're putting a javelin in our heart. Anything else is a javelin in the heart. Is Narottam Das Thakura. So we should become absorbed in Prem Bhav Lila Katha. Now that can also mean, because it depends on our level, it can mean just Bhagavad Gita, because this is a Prem Bhav Lila Katha of Krishna speaking to Arjuna. It's full of Prem Bhav, but it's on a certain level. Then you have Srimad Bhagavatam, isn't it? Full of, especially Ras Lila is there. Chaitanya Charitamrita. And as we become more qualified, we can hear the Kalika Valari of Rupa Goswami, we can hear Sankalpa Kalpadruma like this, you know. Gurudev has given us so many Ras Kathas. So we should also immerse ourselves in this. This is actually taking bath. This is a high-level bath. This is cleaning the mind. This Hari Katha, filled with prem, is what will purify the mind and the heart. That is in that verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam, isn't it? that by continually hearing Ras Leela, if we do it with faith, dhira, faith from the proper source, then prem will come and lust will go. It's not the first lust, but prem will come. And when prem comes, everything automatically goes. So we need to hear. We need to hear. So over and over again, not just tattva, but we also need to hear the Lila Katha. It's very important. It will purify. We read the chapters in the Bhagavatam. There's nothing too intimate in the Bhagavatam. If you read the Ras Leela in the Bhagavatam, it's nothing that's going to cause us some kind of problem. Sukadev Goswami was so expert at presenting Lila Katha, Prem Bhav Lila Katha. So we should read these chapters of the Bhagavatam, these 5 chapters, plus everything else, but particularly those, over and over and over again. Actually, Srila Narayana Maharaj gave a class once going, continuously hear Ras Leela. Continuously. This was what he was saying. Continuously. So, why was I saying that? I forgot.
You were speaking about this, like you wanted to say.
Oh yes, back to Shamala. Sorry, I got it. So Shamala Saki and Srimati Radhika, they're joking. They're joking. And when Srimati Radhika sees Shamala, she's so happy because why? She's been feeling so much separation. I mean, her manjaris are they're telling her things too and helping her, but Shamala Saki is on another level. So Shamala Saki, she actually says, Suprabhat, oh, my day has become fortunate now that you have come, Shamala. It's so fortunate, you've come. And so they embrace each other, and everywhere, all the Sakis are so happy because Srimati Radhika is happy. And they sit together and they just speak. And they joke. They joke like this. Just nothing, they don't go too deep, but they just joke. Shamala Saki will say, who was the guru? Who was the disciple last night in your loving affairs? Who was the guru? Who was the disciple? Or who took the practical? Who took the theoretical? Like this. Joking and joking. Srimati Radhika will say, nothing. Nothing was there. Nothing. I didn't taste anything. And Shama will say, well, but I can kind of see some symptoms, that there must have been something there, something. And then Srimati Radhika, she'll say, well, actually, you cannot lie. You can't lie, so yes, you're right. There, we had some wonderful ecstatic pastimes, but you know what it's like, Shamala? It's like when it's so dark. It's so dark, but still you can kind of see something. And then lightning comes. And after the lightning, you can't see anything. So when Krishna comes, it's like that lightning. It's so, he lights, but then when it's gone, it's all dark. Just dark, I can't, like this. So they're joking like this. And Shamala Saki becomes very happy. And she finally tells the other Sakis, okay, now you bring her, you help her meet with her beloved. And then she goes off. She's very happy like this. And after that, Srimati Radhika takes bath. And what happens? Kundalata comes and takes her to Nandagram to cook. And there's so many pastimes like this in this first part. That's all in the Bhajan Rahasya there at the end, and also in so many Krishna Bhavanamrita, Govinda Lila Amrita, so many places it's described. But these are all just, just an outline. Srila Gurudev said that actually everything's new and ever fresh. Ever fresh. So why are we studying Siksastaka? We're studying Siksastaka so that actually our Nam, our Harinam, will become pure. And by pure Harinam, then automatically, naturally, all the pastimes will come ever fresh. Because we can memorize Bhagavatam, the 5 chapters of the Ras Leela. We can memorize Govinda Lila Amrita, Krishna Bhavanamrita, Gita Govinda. But have we realized anything? Have we are we actually entering Leela? Are we? No, we are not. It's just, it's a help. This is a help. This is better to think about this than going up to Loy Bazaar and buying our excuse me, our potatoes and whatever, are better than, oh, I've got to go to America and see my whatever. You know what I mean? So remembering these pastimes is very auspicious, but we want to become qualified to enter into the pastimes and serve in the pastimes. And that's not cheap. One has to become, as we were talking about before, not one speck of material desires or material attachment. Nothing. So now we're down here talking about what our problems are. What is the durdaivam? What is our misfortune? Why are we chanting the Hare Krishna and we're not experiencing prem? Why? Because of offenses and so many anartas. But if we keep chanting in proper association with our minds free from offensive thoughts, not just we have to, the mind, we have to struggle with. The mind is full of so many unwanted habits, so many unwanted thoughts, so many desires. It's our worst enemy. So we're studying all this here in the second chapter. So we've studied about the different anartas, right? First we have the material desires, we have the illusions, and we have the weaknesses of heart. I wanted to speak a little bit about that today. This is one of the major anartas, is weaknesses of heart, Vrindavana-vilasini. Yeah. And that is, as we know, that is here. Tucha Shakti, being attached to objects that are not related to Krishna. Now you could think, but everything's related to Krishna, isn't it? Everything's related to Krishna. But that's indirect. But directly, let's say in the West, or even here, being attached to eating food that's not offered to Krishna. Like in India, onion and garlic, so many things. In the West, so many unmentionable things. So attached to eating these things. Very difficult to give up. Are very attached to sex life. Now, if it's done for Krishna properly, it's okay, but yeah, intoxication, so many things, not really related to Krishna, only very, very abstractly related to, because everything's related to Krishna. Number 2, kutinata, hypocrisy and deceit. Thinking one way outside and another way inside. Oh, yes, you're so wonderful. And inside thinking, oh my God, I can't stand the way she does it, you know. These kind of things, you know, isn't it? And deceit. Oh, yes. Oh, no, I can't. I'm so fallen. I'm so fallen, you know, and like this. But actually, really, I know better than everybody, you know. She's so foolish, you know, like this. These things are there. What the speaker we talked about last week, Matsarya, envy, and Pratista, doing their dance, their devastating dance. We talked about this last week. And from that comes Himsa and Irsha. But also from all these, from this Hridaya Darbalya, what comes also? This is spoken about 6 enemies. Particularly from these 4 things come 6 enemies which have to be defeated. And what are those enemies? Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mud, and Matsarya. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, and envy. These enemies come from these weaknesses of heart. And what comes from them? They have 6 waves. There's waves that come from the six enemies. What's that? Shok, Moha, Shut, Pipasa, Jara, and Mritu. Distress, illusion, hunger, thirst, old age, and death. So it's not light. It's not a light thing. And it all comes from ignorance, isn't it? Ignorance. So these 6 enemies have to be defeated. These 6 waves have to be subdued. And how is that? How is that? By Shrinam. By Shrinam. That's given by Shri Guru. This Nam can subdue. No one else. Nothing. This is Krishna. This is Krishna's associates. They can subdue the enemies. They can kill the enemies. They can subdue these huge... If you've seen an ocean, the waves in the ocean, they're scary. You get near a real big ocean and that's scary. You don't want to fall in that ocean. You're finished. So you're finished. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, envy, distress, hunger. Hunger will just, thirst, old age, death. This is the happiness in the material world. This is what we're taking. Just let me have a little bit of this. It's so wonderful. Death is so nice. Old age is so nice. How foolish are we? We don't think about when we're taking whatever it is that we're so attached to. My dog. That means death, old age, thirst, like this. No. Well, I could just take these things. They aren't really offered, but they really look good. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous for us. This just some kind of material. It's called inattentive. Inattention also brings, especially in like deity service, inattention brings seva aparad. Yeah. So inattention in all of our activities, our thoughts. The activities now usually not so bad, but our thoughts. Our thoughts, inattentive to our thoughts. What's coming through our mind doing our Diksha mantras? What's coming through our minds doing our Harinam? Of course, if it's seva related, that's a step up. It is, depending on, oh, my room's really dirty. I think I should clean it. But are we really thinking it's dirty and this is Krishna's temple and I should clean it up? Or are we just thinking, oh, the room's dirty and I don't like it? I'm the center. Refining. And also, when we're chanting Harinam, we should be thinking of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Somehow, or at least praying to remember them, like this. That's actually, Prema Nam is not Nam when we're thinking about, I should do this and I should do that, unless we're thinking about, when will I be able to broom in the kunj of Radha and Krishna? When will I be able to bring the tambul for Radha and Krishna, like this? Praying for service, wishing for service, following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami. In his Ukalika Valaris, Kandarpa, Panchika, he has so many where he's actually showing what his inner heart is. And his inner heart is no different than the inner heart of all of our gurus. Our gurus are Rupanuga Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So their hearts are also like this. They're teaching the Tattva. They're teaching Bhagavad Gita. They're teaching Srimad Bhagavatam. They're teaching Upadeshamrita, Manashiksha. But what is their heart? Who are they? And what do they want to give? They want to clean these enemies. They want to clean the weaknesses of heart. They want to dissipate our illusions and our material desires, and they want to especially free us from the reactions to our offenses. We have so many reactions from past offenses, what to speak of present offenses if we're committing them. Hopefully we're not. We're trying not to. So we have to be very, very careful in our chanting, because it's the chanting that will clear everything. This is what Mahaprabhu has given us. He's given us the holy name. He's come. He said, I have brought the medicine. I have brought the medicine. Jeev Jago, you're sleeping in the lap of the witch of Maya. Sleeping. Wake up. Here's the medicine. Harinam, Mahaprasadam. Harikatha. Because not just japa, we also need loud chanting. This is the example of Haridas Thakur. Not just silent chanting, that benefits us, but loud chanting benefits us and everyone. We also have loud Harinam Sankirtan, like this. But How? With sambandha. Who are we? What is our goal? Who are our gurus? What is Harinam? Like this. How are we connected really? Are we just chanting because, Hare Krishna sounds good, as I've heard it's nice, but no. We are the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the one who has brought the holy name, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. We're his servant of the servant of the Vaishnavas, of the servants of Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Radha and Krishna. And he showed himself. What was he doing when he was chanting Hare Krishna? He was remembering so deeply Radha and Krishna. He was in the mood of Srimati Radha, so deeply remembering Krishna. Deeply, deeply. When, oh when, in so much separation like this. Now we pray for this to come. We pray. We pray for these things to be removed. Because right now, quite frankly, we're still absorbed in... Well, we even have 4 defects besides all this other. We have, just having a human body, we have 4 defects. What are those? We have imperfect senses. We're prone to make mistakes. We're prone to be illusioned. And we have the tendency to cheat. So we've got quite a few obstacles because we're still thinking we're the body. A human form of life at least, and we're still absorbed in being the body. We're not yet come to, I'm not the body, I'm a spirit soul, but we're praying for this, praying for this, praying for this. This is how we should chant. Deeply, deeply. Daivam. We want this unfortunate situation to be eradicated, and only by chanting. And whatever instructions our Shri Guru have given us, whatever, we get personal instructions, we get general instructions, we chant and we help others to chant Hare Krishna. This is Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement, isn't it? Yeah. So we should be very serious about this, especially our mad minds. What thoughts are going in through our minds? And not just while we're chanting, actually 24 hours a day. How are we going to really be allowed to reside in the Dham if we have these unclean thoughts in our mind? If we have envy in our mind? If we have jealousy in our mind? If we even have, a mind full of mundane thoughts? We're not. We're not really in the Dham, and we don't have access. So, we just want to pray, Shri Guru, please, 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 please remove all these anarthas from my heart. Please make me qualified. Please may my potential, which is there in my heart. I have a potential to be the maidservant of Srimati Radhika. That's who I actually am. When am I going to identify with that? When, oh when, oh when. This is proper chanting because we're supposed to chant in the mood of vipralamba, separation. So we're feeling separation. I don't even know who I am. I'm separated from my own real self like this. I don't even know who I am. I have some vague idea. I've heard from Swami Maharaj that I'm not the body. I'm a spirit soul. I've heard from Srila Narayan Maharaj that I'm a Radha Dasi, But that's a little vague. I don't really know who I am. What's my name? What do I look like? Where do I live? Really, And then I don't feel what I've heard that the little Radha Dasis are supposed to feel. They feel like so much love and affection for Radha and Krishna. They're just running around, kinkaries, what to do next. Well, I don't even know what to do. What am I supposed to be doing? I don't even know. Hare Krishna. I don't know who I am, don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't even know, and I have no love and affection. This is a big problem. So please, please shower your heart mercy upon me. Your heart is full of that. Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, their hearts are full and overflowing. So we want to dive into the oceans of their hearts, right? We'll hear their Harikatha and try and remember. Hear and describe and remember. This is that verse at the end of the Rasa Leela. It says, you continuously hear Rasa Leela and then you describe it. Now, for most of us, we have a hard time with this. Some know, but most of us, we're too shy or we're too this. We don't want to talk. We don't want to speak. But we're willing to speak all kinds of nonsense with each other. We like to talk, but we don't like to talk about Harikatha with each other. This is a problem. This is a problem. So we have to try to practice and enlivening each other with Harikatha. And then remembering. But the describing is very important. So instead of sitting around, especially ladies, but men have their own topics they like to talk about. Instead of sitting around talking about our health issues, which is what a favorite topic for ladies, right? Oh, my big toe hurts. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Or else, some men too are the conspiracy theory, so-and-so's taking over, oh dear. And they're forcing us to do this and that. These things are true. The problem in the big toe is true. The conspiracies, well, these people are true. But this is not enlivening. This is not nourishing to the soul. It doesn't purify the soul. So we should be trying to see what's best for our God sisters and our God brothers. How to enliven them. How to help them progress in spiritual life. And ourselves too. So what we're speaking with each other is very, very important. We can repeat what we've read, what we've heard. Either the tattva, go deep into the tattva, some lila that's appropriate. We don't speak about confidential Radha Krishna Kunja lila. No, that's not appropriate. But we can definitely talk about the swing pastime. The swing pastime's so sweet. This is really sweet. In the Krishna Bhavanamrita, of course, this is just one time. It's always new and fresh. But in Krishna Bhavanamrita, the swing pastime, what happens? They have a very unusual swing. They have a swing where Radha is on one end and Krishna's on this end, and they're going like this. This is their swing, and they're swinging, and they're going like this, actually. They're going like this. And they have to push, the Sakis are pushing, and they're pushing with their feet on the ground, and Krishna's so naughty. He starts making it go so high, and Radharani's getting scared. Her back is way up touching the leaves of the trees, and everything's starting to come off, and she says, stop, and all of a sudden, stop, and he just pretends like he doesn't hear it. He makes it go faster and faster and faster, and what happens? Of course, she finally becomes sore. She just embraces him, and this is what he wanted. And then finally, he stops. And then what happens? Each Saki gets to sit and swing with Krishna. And they're showering flowers and singing the songs appropriate for that time. Vasant Rag, because this is Vasant. Oh, and actually, it's a monsoon season. They're singing monsoon songs, monsoon ragas, like this. And this fulfills all of Krishna's desires because he wants to be embraced by all the Sakis, and they're opposing him. No, we won't do that. So he just swings so much that they have to embrace him. So we can remember these kind of pastimes, no problem. This is not a problem. So let's try and encourage each other with our Harikatha. Or we can speak deeply about, not certain topics, but anyhow, deeply about, what is actually the four essential verses of Bhagavad Gita. There's 4 essential verses of Bhagavad Gita. There's 4 essential verses of Bhagavatam. I haven't heard about 4 essential verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita. That I haven't heard. We can speak about these and how beautiful are. One of the ones in the Bhagavad Gita is with a shining lamp of knowledge. How's it go?
It's like with the light of the knowledge, I'm like dispelling.
Oh yeah, with a shining torch of knowledge, I dispel all the darkness in the heart, really. And then there's I'm the source of all knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. These are so helpful to remember. And we're thinking, oh yes, I remember things so well. Well, it's Krishna. I'm the source of all knowledge, remembrance, and we think so. We're so smart. The next minute you can't remember anything, because Krishna shows you, oh, no, if I don't give you the intelligence, you can't remember anything. It's like me, I can't remember anything anymore. I'm getting old. I thought I was so smart some 10, 20 years ago. Now I'm really humbled because I can't remember anything, you know? What to speak of Arjuna? There was a time after Krishna, he couldn't remember anything. When it's in the Bhagavatam. He even forgot how to do his bow, I think.
After Krishna left.
Yeah, after Krishna left. Yeah, after Krishna left. Yeah, he couldn't protect the queens that were there. Krishna shows everyone. Aha. Give me the credit. Give me the credit. Don't take the credit. Like this. If we try to be the doer, we fall. This is the problem. This is that little bit of attachment. This is the one that's the hardest one to give up. I am not the doer. Because we've been thinking we're the doer since time immemorial. I like this. I like that. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. This false ego. Very, very difficult. Not just that I want to be number one, but just that I am the doer. I'm doing it. Very difficult. There's a beautiful story. I don't know if I can tell it well enough, but I'll try. One time, the gopis, they were going to go see Durvasa Muni. And they met Krishna, and they had prepared all these wonderful preparations, so many wonderful, delicious preparations, right? And they were carrying on their heads, and they met Krishna, and they said, Krishna, we want to see Durvasa Muni, but the Jamuna is flooded, she's going up and down, so what to do? And he said, well, just tell the Jamuna that if I haven't seen the face of any woman, then please let the gopis go. So they thought, okay. But they went to the Jamuna and they did that. If Krishna hasn't seen the face of any woman, and maybe it was in his life or whatever it was, and so the Jamuna became very calm, and they just crossed. Then they gave all the preparations to Durvasa. Durvasa's ascetic. He only eats durva grass, and but he was eating all these preparations in a second. And so then the gopis were very satisfied, he was saying, and then they said to him, well, we need to go back, but the Jamuna is flooded. How are we going to go? He said, how'd you get here? So they told him, he said, okay, you tell the Jamuna that if Durvasa hasn't eaten anything in his whole life, let them pass. And they were sad. They said, you and your guru, Krishna, are cheaters number one. He can't live without seeing the face of a woman, and you've eaten everything. And then he said, oh, you don't understand. We do not think, we are not the doers. Krishna is doing everything. Like this. No. And he preached philosophy. There's a little bit more to it. I can't remember all. He said there's time. Anyhow, there were five reasons why something happens. One's the mind. I used to know them. I can't remember what they are. But anyhow, he preached Gyan to them. And they were very satisfied. And then they were able to cross back over the Jamuna. Because if one's not thinking he's a doer, Durvasa was eating on behalf of Krishna. Krishna's a doer, like this. Now Krishna, he can do anything. But Krishna says, I'm not the doer too. Like this. Okay, so we pray to Srinam that we can chant without offense. Chant remembering Radha and Krishna for the pleasure of Sri Guru. And one day we will actually, through Srinam, everything will be revealed to us. Who we really are, Sri Vrindavan Dham, everything. It will come from chanting. Not by reading. It will come through Sri Nam. So we want to become free from the offenses. We want to become free from our material attachments. So we're praying for the mercy of Sri Nam. Please, 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 let us chant continually, and please remove these anarthas. Jai ho, vanchakalpatuvishta, kripa sindhu bhevita, patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo, namo namaha.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Gandharvika Giridhari Radhe.
Jaya Gandharvika Giridhari Radhe.
Jaya Radhika Raman, Jaya Radhika Raman, Jaya Radhika Raman, Jaya Radhika Raman.
Jaya Radhika Raman, Jaya Radhika Raman, Radhika Raman, Jaya Radhika Raman.
Jaya Giri Raja, Jaya Govardhana, Giri Raja, Jaya Govardhana.
Jaya Giri Raja, Jaya Govardhana, Giri Raja, Jaya Govardhana.
Gurudev, Jai Jai Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev.
Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol,
Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. There's one thing I wanted to say. I thought, because when I was talking about when we're speaking with each other. Now, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj says it's very natural, actually, that when we greet each other, we ask how we are, and this and that, and we do respond how our body is or our mind. But from that, then we need to take it to a higher level. You know, oh, I'm feeling this ailment, that, but isn't it nice that I'm actually not this body? And let's hope we don't get another material body again. Or let's say the conspiracy theory that some of it's true, it's not true. But then we can say, oh, isn't it nice that this Bill Gates, he doesn't really realize that the real conspiracy is over him, and it's Kali who's being controlled by Brahma and Lord Indra, and the real conspiracy is coming down from, the top up there, and poor guy, he's going to die. We can't take it with him. You know what I mean? Like this, we change it into something totally enlivening, actually. This is what the art is. And it's very natural that we, greet each other and how are you and this and that, but we need to take it to a higher level, Okay, Vancha Kapadubhcha, Kripa Sindhu Vivacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. It says there's low battery.
Yeah, but
I think it worked.
Yeah. I think so.